Welcome to Your Best Interviews. My name is Eric Smith. Thank you so much for spending the time here with me. I know that there's a lot of places you can go, so I do appreciate you spending the time here with me. Today, what I want to talk about is just the interview mindset. So what you need to do as you're going into these interviews to mentally psych yourself up and get yourself into the right interview mindset so that you can put your best foot forward and win when you're actually in these interviews. And so this is one of those things that's confusing, and a lot of people have a lot of different opinions on this. But ultimately, the interview mindset is just you're going in with the right mindset. You're not going in psyched out. You're not going in nervous. You're going in with the mindset that you are the best person for the job, and you're almost eager to get in front of them and tell them why. That is the right interview mindset when you go in to actually do an in-person interview or a Zoom interview. And so in order to get that confidence up, there's a couple things that you can do. Number one, you have to practice and prepare ahead of time. If you're not pouring a ton of time into your interview prep beforehand, you should prepare to fail when it comes to the actual interview. So number one is you got to pour a ton of your time into the early stage of interview prep, which is practicing at home, going through every single answer, practicing what your behavioral-based questions should look like, your chameleon stories. Check out the link for that. There's a ton of different things that you can do to prepare, but you have to put the time in ahead of time, because the more time you pour in, the more confident you're actually going to be going into the interview. Number two, so the day of, when you actually go into the interview itself, what I personally like to do to get myself into a mindset of feeling in control and not letting nerves take over is find time. Maybe it's right before the interview, go into the bathroom, look yourself in the mirror, or maybe it's before you even go into the building. Maybe you're just walking around. Do some self-talk. I know that sounds silly, but self-talk actually does work. And what I like to remind myself, and what I always encourage people to remind themselves when they're going in to these interviews, is remember that companies are looking for people like you. This company has an open position because they're looking for people like you. They need your skill set, and you are the asset to them, right? And then the other thing to remember is there are so many companies hiring. I always say this to every single person. I say this in a lot of videos, but right now is the best time to be a job seeker. So there are so many opportunities out there. And so if the one that you go into isn't the right fit, or something were to happen, it's okay. I feel like a lot of nerves come from, and a lot of people tell me that a lot of the nerves come from feeling like if they miss out on this opportunity, they don't know what they're going to do. The reality is there are so many jobs out there and so many opportunities out there. And so it doesn't matter how one interview goes, because there are hundreds of thousands of companies out there looking for your skill set, right? So it kind of takes some of the pressure off when you remember and realize that it doesn't matter if one company says no, because there are still hundreds of thousands of companies that are out there that will say yes to you. And so every time you interview, you're just strengthening your skills, your experience around interviewing, and honing some of those so that you can ensure that you're putting your best foot forward for the one that is right for you. So as you go into the interview, take some of the pressure off and remind yourself that there are many, many, many companies out there that are looking for people like you, but also remind yourself that you are the best fit for the job that you're interviewing for. There's a reason you're in front of them, right? You have a really strong background and you know what your strengths are. So lean on those and remind yourself of what those strengths are before you go into the interview. All these things what they're going to do is just strengthen your confidence going in. And confidence is such an important part of interviewing. And so you want to practice self-talk and make sure that you're doing all the right things to get your confidence up, bring your nerves down, and then just go over your resume. Number three would be go over your resume or a one sheet. Write out all of the different things that make you the best pick for that job. Go through your resume, read the job description again, and just connect those dots one last time before you actually go in. Again, what that's doing is helping establish confidence as you go into this interview, because ultimately you're there for a reason. You're a strong candidate for them, and that job is yours, but you just have to make sure that you're getting rid of any bit of nerves that you have to allow yourself to put your best foot forward and show them why you're the best person. So, guys, 3 things: prepare ahead of time. If you're not preparing ahead of time, you're going to have a really tough go, because it's really hard to go in cold without preparing and nail an interview. So practice in advance. You should know all of your answers well in advance. Number 2, practice good, strong self-talk. Self-talk does work, and it just motivates yourself. It helps you bring your nerves down. If you can bring your nerves down, you can put your best foot forward. And then number 3, review your resume, review a one sheet. It's really just you're going through the highlights of why you're a great fit. Again, boosting your confidence. So guys, hopefully this was helpful. I know this is quick. There's a lot of different things that you can do to prepare correctly for an interview. So check all of my videos out in the video library. Check all the links out below. Hit subscribe. I drop 2 videos every single week, Monday and Wednesday. All of my content, all of my advice is centered on giving you the tools to get the job that you want. Guys, thanks so much for being here. Appreciate you.